Blog episode 5 is one of those diversions I mentioned in episode 1 would occur from time to time. But as well as being a diversion, it's also sort of a rehash and at the same time sort of a preview. Feedback and comments generated by earlier blog episodes have pushed me to pause for a rehash and explanation, with the explanation part in a way serving as a preview. All religions speak to people getting to a place or state of physical or mental nirvana of sorts at the end of their lives. For Christianity, which is the religion of most from whom I've gotten feedback so far, as well as for another major religion, Islam, that nirvana is heaven. I want to be clear that my blog is not about religion per se and what a person needs to do to get to quote unquote heaven. My blog is about a plausible answer to the related questions of why are we here, and will mankind last long enough to give meaning to that plausible answer? My philosophy of life is based on getting to that plausible answer. My philosophy, like religions such as Christianity, is premised on the world eventually coming to an end. I believe that that end will come when our sun explodes or collapses, but it could come sooner depending on the actions of man or an external cosmic event. If you are a Christian, then your belief is that when that end comes, a Savior will appear to save all believers. I state here that I'm not a Christian, but I'm not going to argue against the Savior scenario because it's actually possible even within the context of my philosophy. Yes, it's possible. Perhaps not exactly as preached in the Bible, but possible, as I will explain in a future blog episode. Let's get back to the main diversion, however. In case you missed it, my prior blog episode, episode 4, was actually my response in support of my proposition that good is not relative. Or more to the point, doing good is not relative. My concept of good encompasses a lot. It even encompasses the Christian concept of good being, quote, comprehensive compassion for humanity amongst humans, unquote, as stated by one of my subscribers. We all sort of know or think we know what's good and what's bad. Good is only relative if what's good for someone or some people can be considered not good for someone else or some other people. So suppose there's a small town full of good people sitting in a valley where nature causes a great flood that destroys the valley and kills everybody. The Christian explanation would be that that was God's will. My explanation is simply that was definitely not good for those people there. On the other hand, suppose a town is destroyed deliberately after a decision is made that for the good of the country, the valley must be flooded to build a dam. Under my philosophy, as well as a Christian theology, if the government is good, the people there will be moved to a similar or even better situation. They will be properly compensated to their satisfaction. The first scenario, where nature wipes out a town of good people, is one of the issues I have with religion. To me, religion doesn't adequately explain why bad things happen to good people. If there was no more, if there are no more diversions to push it back, blog episode 8 will delve into this issue a bit further. A second issue I have with religion is that religions in general, especially the major ones, all seem to preach vengeance. My concept of good or doing good has to do with the survival of the earth and of mankind. That's why it's not relative. Going back to episode 4, to survive, man has to create a world where there is harmony, a world of good. To put it another way, man has to be able to survive long enough to enable man to survive the end of the earth. Let me repeat that. Man has to be able to survive long enough to enable man to survive the end of the earth. That can't happen if good is relative. The issue with my concept is, how does good overcome bad without doing bad things? If there's no place for vengeance, what do we do with an irredeemable, cold-blooded murderer, or someone who does bad things over and over with seemingly no conscience or remorse and will continue to do so unless stopped? If good is not relative, what do we do if we cannot execute that person or persons or even lock them up? Because while punishing them might be good for some and for society, we can't say that it's good for those persons being punished, right? Well, with my philosophy, I actually have an answer, but that's for down the road.